Hi everyone, Abby Lawson here, and I just got done writing a blog post. And the blog post was inspired by a an, au- an audio that I was listening to by David Wood, and he was talking about magical things that happened in your life, and I don't know how magical it was. It was just it was this little story of mine. Um, this experience I had was just a really good experience, and so I thought I'd share it. And what this story really is showing us is that you'll see is that a strategy. If you have a strategy for how you're going to get somewhere, and then you have the faith or you trust that it's going to work, you know, you'll have success. You'll have the outcome you want to have. So the story is about me when I was in sixth grade. I had a real struggle in school. I had dyslexia, and I guess I still have it. Everyone still has it. But I had dyslexia, and I would look around. I was very frustrated because I would look around the room when I was in school, and I was frustrated because everyone around me, or it seemed a lot of the people, really understood the assignments. Every day, the teacher would give an assignment, whatever class it was, social studies, English, math, science, whatever, and they seemed to always understand the assignment. And most of the time, I really didn't, and it was very frustrating. I wanted to so badly, and I was in a family that everyone just expected that you would be successful at whatever you did. That was just the way it was. And I was lucky that we lived in a nice middle class neighborhood, and I went to a decent school. So that was a good thing. But it was a big frustration for me, and so I wasn't able really to excel at that point with academics. My parents started looking for what they could do to have me do well in another area of life. So somehow I took to physical activity and sports. It seemed with my yearning to want to succeed, I somehow learned the skill of visualizing. So if there was a new sport or to get better and better at physical activities, I just knew how to visualize. I would watch someone do something, and I would be able to do it. I would just watch them do it once or twice, whatever it was, maybe a tennis swing, or I don't know how to, in soccer, maybe how to hit the ball with your foot in a certain way to get a certain response from the ball, whatever. I could do it. I could do it very quickly. And so I gained confidence in doing any kind of physical activity. Because really my favorite classes in school were recess, art class, music class, and of course gym. But anyway, this one year in sixth grade, at the end of the year, they had an annual field day, and the gym teacher was in charge of the field day. And he put together this cute little cross-country race for for anyone who'd be interested in running that race. And I don't know what the distance was. I don't know if it was a half mile or a mile. When you're young, your perceptions are, off. And it was really cute because there was a little wooded area behind the school, and there was like a creek back there. So I guess somehow there's a dirt trail that was back there. Maybe he made part of it, and it went through the creek and up little hills and moguls and around and little trees and then out onto the field. I mean, and then there was a finish line, and it was just the cutest little race. But so when I found out about this, I must have known my father was a cross-country runner, long-distance runner, I think he was a long-distance runner. I don't know if he was cross-country, when he was in high school. So I went home and somehow we talked about the race, and my father told me about a strategy. He said, make sure, when you're running a long race, that you start out at an average pace. You don't want to go too fast. You don't want to go too slow. You just want to take this average pace until you get to about the middle of the race. Then you want to gently, slowly start increasing your pace. So then when you can see the finish line, then you give it all you have. You sprint. You just pull everything out of you, and you just take off, and you sprint to the finish line. And that's, if you use that strategy, that's the best strategy for a long distance race. And I was excited because I must have had confidence. I don't know. I was just going to do what he told me to do. So I went out that day, and we were at the start of the starting line, and the whistle blew. I think it was a whistle or something, and we all started running. And I started the pace that my father had told me, just trying to keep this average kind of pace, allowing. Most of the people just ran ahead. I mean, almost every single person. I don't know how many kids were. Maybe there was 12 or 15 or 20 kids in the race. I can't remember. And most of the kids just ran ahead of me. But I kept to the strategy, and I just trusted that it was going to work. So I just kept this strategy. I just kept on with this pace, this moderate, not too fast, not too slow, until I got to what I thought was about the middle of the race. And then I started picking up the pace slowly and slowly. And even before I got to halfway, a lot of the people had, slowly people were just kind of getting too tired to keep up their really fast pace. So I was passing people. Then I got halfway through the race, and that's when I really started. I slowly started to pick up the pace, and that's when I started passing this one and passing that one and passing that one and that one and that one, until I got to the point where we could see the finish line, and it was out of the little wooded area, and then there was this field, this straight area you could see the finish line, but it was again, I don't know about perception, about 100 yards off or something, or 50 yards off. I don't know. I could see the finish line. That's when I knew, and I had 4 or 5 people I had to pass still, and I just took off. I increased that pace until I was giving everything I had, and I passed every single person, and I won that race. Yay! So this is a really wonderful confidence builder for me. And so with that story, there's a lot of things you can derive from that story, but what I'm really focused on in the story is that a strategy plus, trusting and having faith is going to give you a good outcome. It's going to give you the success that you want. So if you have faith, I have a strategy. So go ahead and click the link below. If you're watching this from YouTube, you can click the link below this video. It'll take you to the strategy, which is, it's a little video, and you just watch it. It's about 30 minutes. And if you're in my blog post, you can you can go and read the story if you want to. There will be a link for the blog, to the blog, so you can read the blog post just below this video. Or I guess if you're on the blog post, it'll be at the end of the article. Okay, at the end of the blog post. Alrighty. Okay. It's Abby Lawson. I'll talk to you later. Bye.